stream personal, let me see, 100 personal live stream video challenge. Wow. Okay, so I am on video number 88. And so today I'm going over the black eyed peas. I'm actually cooking them in the background. And so I'll be back on part two of this where you actually see what I'm doing. But I wanted to take a moment and just talk about black eyed peas and some of the many ways that you can use to create or to make black eyed peas, from the soups and stews to more of the dried version. There is an African dish, a West African dish called akras, and that is black eyed peas, but you take them and you skin them and you grind them up and make them into, I mean, you can actually make them taste like chicken. It's amazing. Everything tastes like chicken, isn't it? But I tasted those years ago and then started making them myself. And I'm going to tell you what, it's pretty amazing what you can do with them. But beans, they have a lot of different uses, and all depending on how you utilize them will determine what you get out of them. You can have them have a texture of meat. They could, of course, be the regular bean texture. They could be really soft or they could be firm. You can have them curried down, barbecued. You can turn them into bean pies, as if you were on any of Harry's earlier broadcasts today when he interviewed Tanoa Bond. She was talking about her favorite, the bean pie, which she says rivaled the sweet potato pie. I really don't think so, but I'll taste one. I'll have to go out and find a bean pie to see if what she's saying is true. But you got to go a long way. I'm just kind of wondering if she actually tasted the rice sweet potato pie. That was almost sacrilege, but you know, I'll give her that for a moment. Anyway, so let me talk about what you do with black eyed peas just to kind of get things ready. And by the way, if you are on replay, then go ahead, pop replay in. Harry, how you doing, bro? Yeah, okay. So with black eyed peas, there's a number of different ways that you can make them. And when you want, like, say for example, that you have a family and they all have different tastes, they like different things. There's a way to actually do that all in one go. And that is, instead of seasoning the whole pot of black eyed peas, what you do instead is you cook the black eyed peas bland, just water and black eyed peas after you soak them and all that. And then you can add your salt or whatever. Or what you do is, in a separate pot, like a skillet or what have you, you can do other things, like you can caramelize some onions, do some peppers up. You can do mushrooms or what have you, depending on what you want the flavor of those black eyed peas to be. You can refry them, where you kind of mash things down after you saute onions. You can throw greens in them. Today we're going to be working with peppers and onions and dill weed, a little salt. It's going to be real simple. But the black eyed peas are done. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking the peppers and onions, frying them down in a skillet, and then incorporating that into the black eyed peas that are already done. So I'm going to make it so that the mixture that I cook up is really highly seasoned, really salty even. And then when I add them to the beans, it's going to balance out because the beans are going to soak in all of that salt, all of the seasonings, and it's going to be pretty off the chain. Now, if I were doing it a different way, I would have taken the black eyed peas, soaked them up, and then I would have sauteed the onions and peppers and all of that, and then added the black eyed peas that had been soaked and heated through, and then cooked it all down in that, and then cooked it real slow and low, to get that nice sauciness out of them. A little coconut oil in there, and that would have been really good. Another way that I would do it is I would take the black eyed peas, and if I wanted to barbecue them, bake them down, I would take them again, cook them on the stove, kind of like a parboil, and then make up my mixture, mix it up real good, and then put it in a lasagna pan and bake it off in the oven. Finish it off there. Low heat, and let it be in there for a few hours so that that can just absorb the flavor, soften them up real good. So there's a ton of ways that you could do it, and you choose how you want it to be. If you want the black eyed peas to have like a real smoky flavor, you want to use like things like chipotle or smoked peppers. You could use liquid smoke. I'm not really a big fan of that anymore because I don't really know what they put in there. I haven't researched it enough to know what kind of chemicals, if at all, any that they put in there, or if it is just the smoking and then they add some. I got to research it to find out what they put in there to make sure that I'm not poisoning my family. Uh, However, if you smoke your peppers, you can achieve the same effect and it'll be better. I think even better for you. So, those are some things that you can do with it. You could also make a nice dip. You take the black eyed peas, and depending on how you roll, if you are like vegetarian or if you're totally plant based and you don't do the cheeses, then you would take the black eyed peas and you can saute down some garlic, onions, peppers, and then you mash all that up or you blend that down and convert it into a nice sauce. And then you take the black eyed peas, you incorporate that in there, and then you blend all of that down together, make a nice dip. You could add some cheese or some cashew cream if you want it to be cheesy. If you want it to be kind of cheddar like, then you add cashew cream with chipotle and dill weed. And then that combination together makes a really good cheesy sauce. It tastes like cheddar. I know it's kind of strange. I found that out in program years ago. I was working with the kids, and I knew that it would give a nice cheese sauce, but I didn't know that the flavor would be like a really good sharp cheddar, real smoky because I added the chipotle and the dill. Something about the dill and the oil and the cashew, the way that the cashew pulls in the dill, what it leaves behind gives that nice cheddar cheese kind of flavor to it. So anyway, so that's a way to do that. So what I'm going to be doing as I'm cooking and you guys are seeing what I do in the kitchen, I'm kind of non-conventional because, of course, I've been plant-based for years. I'm currently not totally plant-based, but for the most part, I still roll in that field. But I will be taking you through what I do in the kitchen. You will see me grinding down spices and everything. You'll see me cooking things down, and you can join along or you can join me when I do my cooking classes. Hey, Shauna, how you doing? Yeah, so anyway, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is part one, but those are quite a few things that you can do with the black eyed peas. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Um, Hey, Harry. Yeah, so on that note, I think I'm finished drying up the dishes. So I'm going to jump off, finish up my mise en place, and then we'll start working on the black eyed peas. Now, let me take you over here real quick. Hold on, let me do this. This is okay. So this is the yeah, we're in the lab. This is the black eyed peas. Let me see if I can get you angled right. Okay, so this is the black eyed peas, and they're bland right now. Nothing's in them except for the water and the oil. Now, when we get busy with this, it's going to have the peppers, the onions, the flavor, the seasoning, and you're going to see the difference. Matter of fact, let me do something. Okay, see, so they're tender, very tender, and they're ready to go. And I love doing it this way, and I'll tell you why. When you are really busy, you got a lot of things going on. If you have some beans on, just have a big pot of beans going. You would be surprised at how filling this can be because by the time I build this out, this thing is going to be not only black eyed peas, this is going to be show enough, slap somebody black eyed peas. I wouldn't say slap your mama because I think that's disrespectful, but you're going to slap somebody, you're going to hit somebody. Anyway, all right, so on that note, I will see you in a moment. Be back. I think somebody else is going live in a moment. And yes, we're in the lab. I think somebody's going live in a moment, so we will see you. Show now. I'll see you in a moment. Catch you later. Bye.